everyone, it's TJ again. I just wanted to talk about one of the subjects that I mentioned in my last video about my long sabbatical that I took, and I am coming to you from my bed today because the subject I'm going to talk about is excuse me, how I changed my sleep schedule. And are you sleeping? Are you sleeping well? I mean, I'm working on it. I'm still working on it, but I have made so much improvements. If I won't go back into too much of what I mentioned before, but it's in the video right before this one. And what better place to discuss this than bed? And if you hear a little whistly snore, that's my baby girl. She's knocked out. So I'll get right into it. I began by first of all thinking what would work for me. I mean, I've tried to change my sleep schedule before, from being a night owl, staying up half the night into the early wee morning hours, to a more regulated type pattern, because honestly a night owl schedule does not fit in with the real world. Like I would specifically ask for afternoon appointments when I had to go to a doctor or vet or wherever, and that's not always possible. It's just hard. It was hard on me. I don't know, it may work for some, but it works for me fine until, like I say, I have to get up early in the morning, and then it's hard. So besides thinking, like, you know, what kind of deciding steps to take that weren't the same as in the past. In the past, I used to just set an alarm 15 minutes earlier than I normally woke up, thinking I'll slowly change my schedule that way. And needless to say, that did not work. So I came up with this plan. I said, I'm gonna hit this hard this time. I'm not playing. I'm tired of this. So I ordered some Sleepy Time Extra, which has several things to help you sleep. It has excuse me, a proprietary blend. What is that? And it has chamomile and valerian root. And I used to take valerian capsules, and they stink, or the ones I had stunk. And it, you know, that was, I mean, I took them, but the smell was just, you know, I had to deal with that. And then I ordered, like I say, I meant business this time. I used to take melatonin, and I probably will again once I get a good schedule. Like once I feel comfortable in the schedule, I eventually settle on. Like right now, I'm going to sleep usually before midnight, which is saying a lot for me. And getting up, I aim for 8, but you know, I'm still struggling with that. But I get up earlier than I used to. So, you know, we're making a lot of progress. I bought, and I know the thing about supplements and all that. We got to do what we think is best for ourselves. Correct? Okay, so I bought this Sleep 5 10-in-1 melatonin sleep complex. I told you, I'm serious. I got something with everything that I know helps with sleep. And this has magnesium, L-tryptophan, valerian, melatonin, ashwagandha, hops, GABA, passion flower, chamomile, and MCT oil. 5 milligrams of pure melatonin, and this is it. Kappa, oh, I don't know. I hope you can see it well. Maybe if I get my face, there you go. And I got it from Amazon, and again, like I said, I know what has been said about supplements, etc. So, and then I ran across something that says cedarwood. Again, here we go. Cedarwood essential oil. If you kind of huff it, I'm just kidding. If you kind of, and it's sticky. This is, I don't like that about it. It's so sticky. I can barely get the lid off. Ew. I don't know why it's so sticky, but I just kind of take some light whiffs. I don't want to kill myself. They're not hard inhales, but when I'm getting ready to tuck in for the night, that's what I sniff the cedarwood oil. Does it help or not? I don't know, and sometimes a little lavender essential oil. I'll put a few drops in a bottle, a spray bottle that you can buy anywhere, and mix it with water, and I'll spritz it around the room, the bed, everything else. So those are a few things I do. And then after I got all my arsenal of sleep things, paraphernalia, I decided I needed to change my schedule. Well, duh, that's what. But what I mean by that is, I have notes down here, so excuse me for looking down. Otherwise I'll forget. I'll forget what I was wanting to say, and I'll just talk about things like I'm doing now that I didn't want to talk about. Number one was I've started getting ready for bed earlier in the day. Can you tell I'm a night owl? My mouth hasn't caught up with my brain, and that's normal for me. So excuse me for tripping over my own tongue. I get around, and this is a world different than what I used to do. I eat my dinner at the senior special hour of around 4 at 4 in the afternoon, and then take care of what I need to take care of, like feeding my pup and taking her out and stuff. And then once that's done, I take my bath or shower. If I have more time, it's nice to relax in some Epsom salt warm water to just to relax. And just like with babies, if you've ever had babies, you know that giving them a nice warm bath before bedtime knocks them out. So, and it works for us older ladies, older folks too. At least it does for me. And then I around 7 right now. This is a progress. I'm making progress. I anticipate that all this is going to change as I get closer to my goal. Drink my sleepy time tea and just kind of start winding down. And after the bath shower ritual, I try to remember to take my sleep supplement. And then around sunset, I don't know how this is going to work in the wintertime for me because the sun sets so early, but around sunset, which right now is 8:30ish or so, give or take, I turn the lights out in my bedroom. I mean, I still might watch TV. I know a lot of people say that's a no-no, and you know, like I say, a work in progress here. So don't get on to me. I'm working on it. Please. I'm struggling here. Not really struggling, but it's taken me a bit to get into a new routine. But I turn my light out, my little lamp over here around sunset, and I might I typically watch television, and you know, I turn my little candles on, my battery operated candles, and sometimes I light a candle or 2 or 3 or so, just for light, but not artificial light, if that makes sense. And then I make sure my alarm is set. I set it for 8 a.m. and I struggle, but you know, it is what it is. And how I got to 8 a.m., I started off setting my alarm much later, because like I said, in the last video, I was staying up till all hours of the night and early morning. So I was setting, I don't even remember the first time I set my alarm for it in the morning, but it was later than 8 o'clock. But I worked myself, I got this little tip, and I thought, this is excellent. I can do that. So it won't feel so to my system, getting up that early. And I know, I used to have to get up at 3 in the morning at certain jobs to be there on time. So I know what it's like to have to get up early to go to work. So, you know, hey, I understand if you're sitting there thinking, oh, please, girl, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that's nothing. That's late for me. But like I say, I guess you'd say retired now. And I had to quit working so I could be home to take care of my husband after he had his stroke. And so I don't feel retired, but I don't know what else you would call it. So let's see. So 8 o'clock. I read this. To me, it was like a magnificent idea. Set your alarm 1 minute earlier. Now it didn't say how often, but I decided I'm going to do it every day. I'm going to set it a minute earlier each morning. And then that way it kind of is more of an ease into an earlier wake up time. And I will admit, I'm kind of stuck at 8 o'clock right now, because I did find myself, hey, I'm human, y'all. I'm human. I was easing back into getting up later. You know, I don't know. The bed is warm, it's cozy. I love it. I'm telling the truth. It's embarrassing, but it's the truth. And then I read about when you get up in the morning, have sun exposure as soon as possible after getting up, waking up, getting up. And I do that by, like, I'll get up, go in my bathroom, open my curtains, and the sun, it's on the east, it faces east, so the sun is like usually like hitting me right in the face when I go in there. So I'll just close my eyes and soak in the sun through my eyelids. You know, don't look at the sun. I don't know what would happen if you look straight at the sun. I know what I've heard, but I don't know if that's true. Anyway, I do that, and maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute, I'll let the sun hit my face, and then I will step into our walk-in walk-in tub and take that little shower head thingy, and I will like spray cold water on my legs, ankles, knees, my pulse points. Just that helps wake me up, and then I splash cold water on my face. That makes a difference, and then that's about it. I move on. I think the cold water and the sun definitely help keep me from crawling back in that bed, y'all. So I hope this helps anyone that may be struggling with the same issues that this night owl has had, or still. My nature is I still want to stay up all night and sleep all morning and into the afternoon if I could, but we're not going to do that anymore. So if this has helped anyone, I'd appreciate it if you'd comment, down below where there's a little comment section, and if you have any other tips that might help me. I'm still searching for tips and ways to, like I say, the sun in the face thing. I would have never thought about that, because I'm kind of like, I always say I'm like a vampire. I don't like a lot of light, but I don't know if that's because they say light-eyed people, the sun, it can be a bit much for them. Now I don't know if that's my problem or what, but I usually like my room's nice, dark, and cool. So, oh, and another thing, let me see if it's under my pillow. Excuse me. Another thing that helps is I have, lest I forget, I have covered, I sleep with, I was sleeping with 4 fans, but now that it's summer, I moved 1 fan into the kitchen because it's hot as Hades around here. Anyway, I sleep with 3 fans because I'm one hot mama, y'all. No, I'm joking. Anyway, and the doggone fans have those lights, or at least the ones I do. 2 of them have lights, and they're like blue lights, and so I got myself some electrical tape, and I covered where all the lights are, trying to, because they say sleeping in a absolutely dark room is good to do. So I've done that, and it works. It works. So I have no lights coming from my fan. My phone, is it's on do not disturb 24/7, y'all. So too many spam calls. I'm sorry. So if you're trying to call me, don't text me, and I'll get back to you later. But I have, and I've had this thing for so long that I like it. It's my favorite one. I have invested in, well, I can't say I invested in them because I'm not that crazy about them. But this thing I've had for so long that I have mended it. I told y'all I'm frugal. And then, oh no, I'm gonna have to do some more work on it. Or no, that is, anyway, yep. See, it started separating because I wash it every, I try to wash it like every 3 days. But anyway, I use my little plain and simple. It's one of those, my husband, it's so misshapen, but I love this thing. It's comfortable. Hey, you gotta do what works for you, right? And then I put my hair has gotten so long, y'all, that I'm stuttering now, that I would find myself, like, when I'm sleeping, my hair, it would get caught under my arm and all that. So I'm invested in a bonnet. What are those little strings? And I do wash this like every, same with my same with my isn't that snazzy? Isn't that snazzy? Anyway, anyway, I tuck my hair in there, but I don't want to do that right now. Anyway, I do that with my hair so it stays up in this little area here, and I don't get it caught on anything, my elbows, my arms, my all that. Anyway, let me go. I know I talk so much, and I apologize for that. I can't help myself. Okay. I hope y'all have a great day and wonderful night's sleep. I've started, I sleep anywhere from 7 to 10 hours depending on what's going on in my life, in my world, and it's wonderful. It is wonderful. So I wish good sleep and sweet dreams for all of you. And again, if you have any ideas I can use or put into practice that might help, I mean, I'll consider it, and if I think it will work for me, I'll use it. Thanks for watching, and